Well, hello and welcome to Resourcing Tomorrow here live on Stockbox on day two. It was a very busy day yesterday. We all managed to get an early night because there's lots of activity going on throughout the day. Today looks equally as busy today, and we've already spoken to a couple of people this morning, Voyager Life, Nick Tulloch, and also got an interview again with ECR Minerals, just to put something that can go out later in the week. It's regarding perhaps an upcoming drill program at their Kresik project. Today we've got lined up GoviX, who we've spoken to before, Forum Energy Metals, who's a regular on Stockbox, Digby, who are not a listed company, but they are in environmental social governance. It's very important for investors and companies to take that seriously. So we're hoping to get to speak to them later on today. I'll also be on stage hosting the pitch battles, so we'll see if we can get some clips from that as well. I'm told as well that Tristan Potas is here from First Development Resources, so we'll get an update from him on what's going on with that IPO. Oliver Friesen has just arrived as well from Golden Metal Resources, so again, getting an update from him on how things are going there, and also speaking to First Tin. But right now I'd like to hand over to my colleague Alan Green, who is with Cornish Lithium. So Alan, take it away.
Thank you, Mark. Welcome to day two of Mines and Money 2003 Resourcing Tomorrow. I'm here today with Neil Elliott, who is Head of Corporate Development for Cornish Lithium. Neil, welcome.
Thank you very much, Alan.
Well, Neil, it's been an incredibly successful year and a transformative year for Cornish Lithium. You've raised $67 million, you raised $6 million in a crowdfunding campaign. What's the picture looking like for you now?
Look, it's great. Having the funding is giving us the confidence to obviously really accelerate our projects as much as we can. We are just kicking off the feasibility study on our Trelava hard rock project. So we're hoping to have the results of that out at the end of next year. That's a project where we're repurposing a China clay pit in Cornwall with a processing site that's within 1 kilometre of the pit, where we will actually produce battery-grade lithium hydroxide as well. So it's basically massively shortening the supply chain and also using a processing technology developed by an Australian company called Lipidico, which actually has a much lower carbon footprint than the current supply chain that you have where you're producing lithium from spodumene, where you have to roast the ore at very high temperatures. We'll basically use acid to basically process the lithium and produce that lithium hydroxide at site. Targeting being in production there by 2027. So yeah, it's very exciting as we progress that feasibility study and get towards a construction decision on that project. Whereas on the geothermal side at the moment, we've drilled a new hole at Blackwater this year, which has been a great project for us. We're also now in the process of drilling another hole actually up at Trelava, where the hard rock project is as well. On the geothermal side, basically Cornwall's underlain by a sheet of granite, which has got natural fractures in the granite, where water flows through and the lithium leaches into those waters. We can drill these boreholes and extract the water with the lithium in, and then extract the lithium from that water using direct lithium extraction technologies. So what we believe is this is a county-wide phenomenon. By drilling up at Trelava, it's probably about 20 miles away from where we've drilled to date. So it's starting to prove up that county-wide network of fractures in Cornwall that we can then extract the lithium from. So really exciting times for the company.
Really exciting indeed, and of course Cornwall, the traditional holiday destination for many, is transforming into this amazing mining destination. But I think also just like to find out a bit more about your strategy as well, because of course as a non-listed company you've raised an awful lot of money and you've managed the project really well. So tell us about your plans going forward in terms of financing, and are we likely to see you list on the London markets at some point?
Well, the company has always said its stated strategy is it will look to list in London at the appropriate time, and obviously that's going to be at the right stage of development of the company, and also when, to be honest, market conditions are conducive to a successful IPO, which sadly the last sort of 18 months or so haven't really been there. What I'd say is we've now got the backing of 3 large shareholders. So you've got the UK Infrastructure Bank. That's basically backed by the Treasury. They've got about 20 billion of funds to deploy. We've got the Energy and Minerals Group, which is a large natural resources investor based out of Houston in Texas, again about 14 billion under management. And we've also got TechMet as our other major shareholder. And TechMet actually backed us at the end of 2022, end of 2021 I should say, and they're a very focused battery metals investment fund, and they've been a great supporter of ours over the years. So what we have there is like 3 very large shareholders who are all very keen and motivated to see these projects get developed, which I think gives us options that a lot of junior mining companies necessarily wouldn't have. We will obviously look to do funding we will need to do to build the Tralava project. So we're targeting having all the permitting in place and being shovel ready around about the middle of 2025. What we'll also need to do at that point as well is raise money to build a demonstration scale plant on our geothermal waters side of the business as well. So look, at that point we'll obviously have to look at market conditions, and we'll obviously need to look at the thoughts of our shareholders as well and make sure that we're doing the best by them ultimately at that point in time. But like I say, the good news is with those 3 large shareholders, we have options ultimately in terms of how we can finance the company going forward.
Superb. So you've outlined some of the forthcoming events that we can look forward to. Are there any near-term events that you can tell us about? I'm talking about, say, Q1 next year?
Yeah, sure. So one of the key things we're doing at the moment is we're actually building a demonstration scale plant up at the Hard Rock project. So the idea of a demonstration scale plant is ultimately it is literally a shrunken down version of how the full scale plant will look, and it will run continuously, and that will give us a huge amount of data, both in terms of being able to make sure that we optimise the Lepidico process for Cornish ores, but also do things like provide samples of material that we can then provide to potential offtake partners, and also we can use that process plant as well to demonstrate to potential financiers, particularly I'm thinking things like project finance banks, of the sort of efficacy of the Lepidico process as well. So we should have that commissioned at the end of Q1 next year. We'll run that for about 6 to 9 months, so that's going to be a sort of major development. Also, around about Q1 next year as well, we should have an updated resource for the Tralava project as well. So we finished the resource drilling about the end of October, which was a really good result. Actually finished that slightly ahead of schedule. Yep. And so yes, we should have that updated number. And all these numbers will then feed into the feasibility study, which we should have published at the end of next year is what we're aiming for there. And then on the geothermal side as well, the hole that we're drilling up at Tralava, that should be completed around about the end of Q1 next year as well. So obviously we'll need to do some testing work on the back of completing that hole. But again, we're really excited to see what structures we hit as we drill that hole. So yeah, it's going to be a very busy Q1 next year.
Fantastic. Well, it sounds as though you've got your hands full in 2024. But just like to say many thanks for joining us today, Neil. It's been great to hear about your plans for the future, and we wish Cornish Lithium every success.
Thank you very much. Cheers.
If you enjoyed this interview, then give us a thumbs up, a like or a retweet. Subscribe to us on YouTube or follow us on Twitter, and hit that notification bell to be the first to know when we release new content. There's loads of great content on our website too, across all our programmes at stopboxmedia.com. Thank you for watching.